Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to respond to a request for statement made by member for Roima constituency, Honorable Protas Akuja, MP, regarding disbursement of the Presidential Secondary School bursary. In his statement, the Honorable member sought feedback on the following three areas. What are the reasons for lack of disbursement of the full amount of Presidential Secondary School bursary to constituencies in the last 2 financial years? What are the plans that have been put in place to ensure timely disbursement of all appropriated Presidential Secondary School bursary fund for the previous and current financial year? 3, what measures has the ministry put in place to guarantee that in future, Presidential Secondary School bursary funds are released as located in the budget and dispersed in a timely manner? With regard to the first inquiry, Honorable Speaker, I wish to respond that the reason for lack of complete disbursement of the Presidential Secondary School bursary fund for 2023 and 2024 financial year were due to low allocation of funds and lack of exchequer release, which consequently meant that constituencies were not financed as expected. The effect of this, Honorable Speaker, is that even part of the minimum allocation granted to the sector was eventually not released by the National Treasury due to various reasons, including physical challenges. With regard to the second inquiry, Honorable Speaker, I wish to respond that the Presidential Secondary School bursary funds are dispersed in 2 bunches every year, that is the first half and the second half. The bursary is constituency-based, and all the 290 constituencies are equally allocated. The State Department was allocated 400 million Kenya shillings in both the 2022/2023 and the 2023/2024 financial years, but obtained only 200 million shillings from the National Treasury, which affected the disbursement. Of greater concern, Honorable Speaker, is that the total requirement for the Presidential Secondary School bursary was 2.56 billion shillings in the year 2022-2023 and financial year 2.65 billion shillings in the 2024-2025 financial year. Yet only 400 million was allocated, representing an allocation of only 15% of the total requirement. The plan to ensure timely disbursement for the previous and current financial year will therefore involve regular appraisal and reporting over the next 2 quarters of this financial year by the National Treasury to the Social Protection Committee on measures being put in place to release currently allocated funds and all pending balances under the bursary program. The Social Protection Committee shall regularly engage the National Treasury during the course of this financial year to ensure disbursement of the appropriated funds as well as pending balances allocated to the Presidential Secondary School bursary funds. With this regard, Honorable Speaker, I wish to respond that the State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizen Affairs manages the bursary with henceforth be required to prepare and release authority to incur expenditure AIE schedules in a timely manner. The timely reverse of the authority to incur expenditure will facilitate effective disbursement and utilization of the funds to the counties for the payment of fees for the beneficiaries at the constituency level. Further, the Social Protection Committee will involve the State Department for Social Protection and the National Assembly to secure sufficient allocation of resources to the Presidential Secondary School bursary in order to enable orphans and vulnerable children from poor families to access secondary school education without hindrances or inconveniences. Finally, the National Treasury, Honorable Speaker, will be required to furnish the Social Protection Committee with regular exchequer release up to date and to additionally commit to releasing 100% of all the Presidential Secondary School bursary for funds allocation. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker,
Umetosheka?
I'm not satisfied, Honorable Speaker,
Yes.
because this particular statement is not addressing, it's not giving the solution to the reasons why this statement was raised, because it's just giving excuses of exchequer and such. And secondly, Honorable Speaker, If you look at response number 4 and response number 11, they are not going together, because in response number 4 is talking about disbursement happening in the first part of the year and the second part of the year. But in response number 11 is talking about timely disbursement or release of exchequer. Now we are almost 6 months inside the first half of the year, and nothing has been released so far. So those two responses are not tallying. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I come from a constituency that has a lot of orphans. And the reason is I border some hostile communities in the international borders, and we lose our people on a daily basis. And therefore, once these children or students qualify for this presidential bursary, we expect them to be paid full bursary for the whole year until they finish their school. But now, because of this non-release of the exchequer or delay of disbursement, these students, we assume the school, but we realize that they're out of school because when they're being chased from school. So it becomes difficult even to consider them for other bursary like NGCDF and maybe county bursary, because we are very sure that the presidential bursary has already taken them because they are orphans. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Mwenje.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for your indulgence.
Yes.
I just want to come in on this issue and inform the chair and perhaps the honorable member protest on this issue. Honorable Speaker, the issue of presidential bursaries is quite thorny, and it's never clear when these funds come. Perhaps I don't know if the chair is aware, but I'm aware that the presidential bursary funds, about 600,000 per constituency, have been released. It is incumbent upon every member through their children officer to go and actually check for this money. Otherwise, this money is spent without honorable members being aware. Perhaps, Honorable Speaker, I would suggest that the chair would be willing to invite members, or even through their committee, perhaps invite our constituency managers so they can become aware when these funds come, because these funds do come and are disbursed without knowledge of members. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Alice.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, from where I sit, the financial year 2022-2023 and 2023-2024, it was because of lack of release of exchequer. You can see those 2 financial years, the only money that was released was 400 million, and yet it was supposed to be 1.26 billion, Honorable Speaker. So I can imagine the gap is there. But even with the few amount of money that was released, the only thing that we need to say is like what Honorable Mwenje has said, to be letting members of parliament know how much money is going to every constituency and to who are the beneficiary of that bursary fund, presidential bursary funds. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, member for Turkana Central.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. This is a very pertinent issue, especially to those of us from marginalized constituencies. Honorable Speaker, just like how Inua Jamii operates, you can check in the system and you can understand and even know the person benefiting from Inua Jamii program. But this one, it is not easy. It is not easy for us to know who are the beneficiaries of this 600,000 presidential bursary. Honorable Speaker, it will be important for the ministry, through the chair, that we also enter these beneficiaries into the system, so that once we click, at the click of a button, we can be able to understand in the same way in which we are able to understand the Inua Jamii beneficiaries. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Alice, you can do that.
Sorry. Honorable Speaker, I can do that. I can do like what I did with Inua Jamii. I'll come up here with a list on how much money we'll get for every financial year, and I'll let the constituency know how much it is going to their constituencies, but they also check with their children officers so that they can know how much money have reached at the constituency and which children are benefiting from the said amount of money. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. End of statement time. Next order. Order number 12.
Order number 12, the Business Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 49 of 2024, second reading, resumption of debate.
Who was on the floor? Marianne, you are on the floor and you have a balance of 8 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Proceed.
The business laws amendments that that are being proposed, one of the other things it would look at is the establishment of laboratories, and these laboratories are for testing of any goods or manufactured by the manufacturers or any products that will come into this country, and that will allow that all products that get to the customer through onto the shelves of the customers have been properly tested and certificates produced. So where KEBS will not be able to do or to undertake the testing, I think the Kenya National Accreditation Service will be able to establish or accredit laboratories that can now be used for testing of equipment or testing of all the goods that will be made available to the customers. So